Hey everybody, it's Sean with Price and Price Realtors with this week's market report. And I shot a separate video talking about, with the market softening a little bit, are we expecting a crash to come? What can we expect with the market? So I'll put a link to that video in the notes of this video so that you can see it. Anyway, so watch that video so you know what we're kind of thinking as far as the market's concerned. Now, we did see a little bit of a shift again this week. Buyer activity for the areas of this market report. Buyer activity was actually down 21% over the last 7 days, and inventory went up about 5%. So that gave us a little bit more of a fluctuation, moving us a little bit more into a buyer's favorable market. Will this continue? Because we're kind of going up and down each week, and we're just hitting a steady point, which I'll show you on the graphs here in a minute. So what's this going to mean for the long term? It's hard telling because we do expect about mid-September for the market to pick back up again once school starts, once people get settled back in and get back from vacation. But who knows what the future is? All we can do is look at what the past has been and make decisions based on that. That's why we do this market report every 7 days. So right now, the window is here for buyers to get in there with as little competition, the least amount of competition that we've seen in several months. Will that continue? It's hard telling, but the fact is right now there is opportunity. So if you're a buyer and you're considering buying, now is the time to really, really give consideration to this and jump in. Sellers does not mean that you're being taken advantage of. Properties are still selling at or above ask for fairly priced properties. There have been some sellers that have come on the market trying to kind of stretch the market to see what they could do, and now is probably not the time for that. But if you want to get a good price, top dollar, top market price for your property, now is still a great time to sell. The demand is still there. The buyers are still looking. Okay, let's get to the graphs and see what's going on. All right, so last 7 days, as I mentioned previously, buyer activity went down 21%. So there was a drop here. Inventory went up 5%, so a little bit of an increase here. So that created this gap. For some reason, my mouse isn't moving around. There we go. That created this gap right here. That gap puts us over here into the buyer's market versus seller's market. That gap puts us down here just a little bit into the buyer's market. So you can see that over the last 5 weeks, we kind of stayed in this general area. Which if you go back over here to this graph, you can see that we kind of stayed in this flattening. So market's kind of flattened, and we're staying right around a neutral market here. Now again, we don't know if that's going to continue. We don't know if that's going to reverse course and go back up into a seller's market. But what we do know is we don't expect prices to drop too much. And again, I go over this in the other video that I shot. So we don't expect prices to decrease. We expect them to either flatten or continue to appreciate, which is the reality of what's likely going to happen and is still happening. But we do see some softening, so buyers are able to get in without so much competition. All right, if you have any questions, this is kind of an interesting time for buyers, so you need to make sure that you have an agent that you're working with that knows how to read the market, knows what the prices are, because there are two approaches that you have to take in this kind of a market as a buyer. If it's a fairly priced property, you have to be very strategic because you're probably going to go against multiple offers, so you have to be able to give a strong offer without giving away everything possible. So you have to have an agent that knows how to do that and use terms to your favor. If it's a property that is being stretched, like I was saying, some sellers are trying to stretch the market a little bit. Your agent needs to be able to recognize that and be able to put in an appropriate offer, and at the same time be able to negotiate with the seller's agent, because some agents honestly don't know the values of properties either. So some sellers agents are actually just putting properties on thinking that they are fairly pricing because they still think it's a strong seller's market. We actually had a property a few months ago that was overpriced by $100,000, and we were able to get our buyer into that property at a discount of $100,000 at asking price, but that's only because we knew the market. So buyers, make sure you have agents that know the market. If you have any questions, if you don't have an agent, or if you have any questions about the market, please reach out to us and let us know. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you on next week's video. Have a great day.